You are in a meeting. Your manager turns to you and asks a direct question in English. Something simple, actually. What's your take on this? Or can you walk us through where things stand? And you have studied English. You know this. You've been learning for years. You have apps on your phone. You watch YouTube in English. Maybe you've even taken a course. You are not a beginner. And yet, your mind goes completely blank. The words are there somewhere, but they will not come out. You can feel everyone in the room waiting. You say something eventually, but it comes out slow or stiff or wrong. Not the way you meant it, not the way you sound in your own head. You walk out of that meeting frustrated and confused because you practice, you really do. So what on earth is going on?
Here is what I want you to hear first. You are not bad at English. Your effort is real. The vocabulary you have built up is real. The improvement you have made over the years is real. This is not about talent, and it is not about intelligence. But there is one specific reason your English keeps failing at the exact moment you need it most. And once you understand it, you will see it everywhere. In your study habits, in the way you've been preparing, in every course and app that has ever promised to make you fluent. And you will finally understand why none of it has fully worked. Here is the reason. You have been training in the wrong environment.
I want you to picture a swimmer. Not a beginner, someone serious, someone who is genuinely putting in the work. This person trains 5 days a week in a heated indoor pool. Perfect conditions, a clean lane, still water, controlled temperature, no current, no noise, just distance and rhythm. And they get good. Their stroke is strong, their breathing is efficient, their times keep improving. By every measure, they are becoming a better swimmer. Then one day, they enter an open water race. Cold water, no lane lines, choppy waves from the wind and from the other swimmers, the crowd on the shore, the clock running. Everything happening at once. And they fall apart. Not because they were faking it in the pool, not because the training was pointless. They are genuinely a stronger swimmer than when they started. But the environment they trained in was completely different from the environment they needed to perform in. The pool taught them how to swim in the pool. It never taught them how to swim in the ocean. Those are two different skills, and the gap between them does not close automatically. Now, I want you to think about how you have been practicing English. You open an app, you study vocabulary in a quiet room, no pressure, plenty of time to think. You watch YouTube with subtitles. You do a lesson with a teacher over video call, where you both know it is practice, where there are no real consequences if you get it wrong, where you can pause and think and nobody is waiting.
That is your pool. And then you go to work. Your manager asks you a question in a meeting with 6 other people watching. You have to write an urgent email to a client in the next 20 minutes, and your mind is already on 3 other things. You are on a call with an international team and someone just said something you disagree with, and you need to push back, diplomatically, professionally, right now, with no preparation, no dictionary, no time to translate in your head. That is your ocean.
And here is the thing nobody tells you. No matter how good you get at swimming in the pool, the ocean will keep catching you off guard. Not because you are not improving, you are. But improvement in controlled conditions does not automatically transfer to performance under pressure. That transfer has to be trained separately, and most English learners never train it at all. So what does training in the ocean actually look like? How do you practice English inside your work? Not somewhere near it, not in preparation for it, but inside it. This is where most advice falls short. You've probably heard immerse yourself in English, watch Netflix in English, listen to English podcasts. And yes, that is better than nothing. It is a colder pool, let's say, but it is still the pool. There are no real stakes. You are consuming. You are not performing.
What I am talking about is practicing English in the exact conditions where you actually need it. There are 4 ways to do this. None of them require extra study time. All of them happen during your actual working day. The first one is what I call the work monologue. As you go through your day, reading through an email, planning a task, reviewing a document, walking to a meeting, narrate what you are doing in English. Out loud if you are alone, in your head if you are not. I need to send a follow-up to the client before noon. Let me think about what we agreed on the last call. The main issue is the timeline. I will address that first, then confirm the next steps and ask them to confirm receipt. That is ocean training.
Your brain is generating English in real conditions, real content, real stakes, real time. Not sentences about the weather, not practice dialogues, sentences about your actual work, your actual problems, your actual job. And you are producing them under the same kind of low-level pressure that your brain feels at work, because the content is real, even if the audience isn't. Most learners have never done this. They keep English separate from work. They study English over here, and they do their job over there, and they wait for the gap to close by itself. It doesn't. The gap closes when you start doing your job in English, even when no one is listening. Start with one task, just one. The next thing you have to do at work today, narrate it in English. It will feel strange. Do it anyway.
The second technique is to steal from the room. If you work with native English speakers or even with colleagues who are strong in English, you are sitting next to a gold mine and probably not paying attention to it. When a colleague writes an email that handles a difficult situation gracefully, a missed deadline, a tricky client, a scope change, don't just read it to understand. Read it to study it. What phrase did they use to soften the message? How did they open the pushback? What did they say instead of "I disagree" or "that is not my fault"? When someone runs a meeting in English and it actually flows, notice how they transition between agenda items. Notice how they manage the room when someone goes off topic. Notice the exact words they use to wrap up and assign action items.
Write those phrases down. Keep a note in your phone. Not a vocabulary list, a phrases in the wild list. Phrases you heard used correctly in real situations by people who know what they are doing. And then use them. In your next email, your next meeting, your next call. This is not copying. This is exactly how language works. Native speakers became fluent by absorbing the language of the people around them. You can do the same thing, deliberately, inside the environment where you actually need to perform. Now, before I get to the third and fourth technique, I want to pause here for a moment. If what you are hearing is landing, if the pool and ocean thing is making you look at your English study differently, I'd really appreciate a like on this video. It sounds small, but for a channel this size, it genuinely affects how many people YouTube shows this to. And if you are new here, I'll be honest, the voice you are hearing is AI generated. But every word in this script, every idea, every technique I am walking you through, that is real research, real thinking, real time spent figuring out what actually helps people in situations like yours. If that is worth something to you, the subscribe button is right there. It helps more than you know. Okay, back to it. The third technique is the 60-second warm-up. Before any high-stakes English moment, a meeting, a presentation, a call where you know you will have to speak, take 60 seconds. Out loud if you can. The bathroom, the stairwell, your car, wherever. In your head if you have no choice. Talk through what you are about to do. In this meeting, I need to explain the delay on the project. I will start by acknowledging the timeline slipped. Then I will give the reason, clearly, not defensively. Then I will give the new date and what we are doing differently this time. 60 seconds. That is the warm-up lap in the actual ocean before the race begins. Your brain shifts into English mode. The first words of the meeting are no longer the first English words you have said all morning. The freeze happens less because you have already started. It sounds almost too simple, but the reason most people freeze is not that they don't know the language. It is that their brain has not switched gears yet. It is still in their first language, still in planning mode, still somewhere else. 60 seconds of English before English flips that switch. Use it. The fourth technique is the debrief. This one is the most powerful and the most skipped. After a difficult English moment at work, a call that didn't go the way you wanted, a meeting where you stumbled on something, an email you sent and immediately wished you had written differently, go back into it, in English. Not to punish yourself, to learn from the exact environment where learning actually matters. Ask yourself, what did I actually say? What did I wish I had said instead? Where did I slow down, and why? Was it a word I didn't have, a structure I couldn't construct under pressure, a situation I hadn't thought about in English before? You do not need a notebook for this. You do not need an app. You need 5 minutes of honest replay, in your head, on your commute home, while you're making coffee. Just go back in with no pressure and run it better. This is how mistakes become muscle memory. Not by avoiding hard situations, by going back into them without the stakes and finding what you would do differently. A swimmer who trains in open water does not just race and forget. They review it. They adjust the stroke. They go back out. The debrief is part of the training. So here is where we land. The pool still matters. Vocabulary, grammar, listening, all of it still matters. I am not telling you to stop studying English. What I am telling you is this. If all you ever do is pool training, you will keep freezing in the ocean. Because the ocean is not the pool. And fluency is not a knowledge problem. It is an environment problem. You need to practice in the conditions where performance actually happens.
Narrate your work. Steal the phrases around you. Warm up before you perform. Debrief after you struggle. Start with one. Just one this week. The work monologue is the easiest entry point. 0 extra time, no partner, no tool. Just you and whatever you were already doing. Start today, before you close this tab. And I want to hear from you. What is your ocean moment? What is the specific workplace English situation that still catches you off guard? The one where you know what you want to say, but it doesn't come out right. Drop it in the comments. I read them. It also tells me what to make next. See you in the next one.